What's up, folks? Welcome to the East Coast Kitchen. My name's Chef Andy Hay. So excited to be here with you today, working with some amazing Clearwater seafood products. Today we are using the almighty clam. I know where your mind immediately goes when I say clams. I know mine sure does. I start thinking soups and chowders. We're spicing it up today. We are going for a delicious, delicious clam fritter. These canned clams, they're really, really delicious, and they're really easy to cook with. These are stored in 100% clam juice, which can absolutely be used in chowders. It's really delicious when making one of those Saturday morning Caesars as well. Definitely do not throw that out. Save it. It's liquid gold. So we've got that clam out. We're just going to pour that out onto the cutting board, and we're just going to chop it up ever so slightly just to make it a little bit more bite-sized. Do not get intimidated. This is dead simple. We're going to have one bowl used for the wet ingredients, one for the dry. So we'll take about 3/4 of a cup of milk, pop that into the bowl. One large egg, just crack that directly in. Pop that under there. And then we're just going to whisk that together. Incorporate the yellow yolk into the white of the milk itself. And that's it for that one. We'll let that sit right there for a moment. And then what we're going to do is put in about 1/4 cup of white flour, about a cup of cornmeal, and then about 1.25 teaspoons of baking powder. Pop that directly in there. I'm going to give that a little quick mix up. So now we're going to add in all the different fillings that we have here as well. So we're going to add in, let's say, probably 1 tablespoon of shallot. We'll add a little bit of freshly diced parsley. So earlier we made some crispy bacon. Going to add that directly in. These fritters are going to be delicious. A little bit of jalapeno, a little bit of spice there, some of that fresh corn. So very Southwest flavors here. And then we have to add in, of course, our clams. So you can see that all coming into there. We'll give that a little mix around. We'll give that a little hit of salt. And now all we're going to do is incorporate the wet into the dry itself. So just pour that directly in and give it a mix. Do not panic when you're making this. The batter itself will look quite loose, but the cornmeal will absorb more and more of the actual liquid that we put in there. So just don't panic. Do not panic. So you can kind of see what that batter looks like there. Really nice and chunky. You can see the bacon, the corn, the jalapenos, and those beautiful clams. So we're going to give that probably 30 seconds to a minute just to firm up a little bit, and we'll make sure that your fryer is set to temperature. So you can do this at home in a crock pot. Be careful, but if you do have a fryer itself, probably easier to use, we're going to set the temperature to around 350. So all we're going to do here is take a spoon, take a big old spoonful of the batter itself, and slowly let it slide off the spoon into that hot oil. The shapes are going to be totally irregular. That's cool. Go with it. It's a fun party snack here. They're probably going to fry for 3 to 4 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown on the outside. All right, you can see that these are perfectly golden brown. So put them on a baking rat, let that last little bit of oil leak out. And when it's still hot, make sure that we add in a little bit of salt on top. So while those last ones are just frying off, we're going to want to get our plate ready to serve these things. So I'm going to grab this cutting board on the back. It's kind of a fun one to plate it on. This is party food, like we said. We're just going to pile these fritters directly onto the board. People can eat them with their hands. Just a fun dish. So the dipping sauce, you can get pretty creative with this one. What we're going to use today is just a mixture of avocado, a little bit of sour cream, and some herbs. Chuck that all into a food processor, whip it up. I always like to put it directly into a squeeze bottle. Just makes it a little easier to serve. And then right over the top, squirt it. We can add a little bit of the corn over the top of it as well. Some of those beautiful jalapenos. A little bit of bacon. Who wants nachos when you can have clam fritters? Those are delicious. Enjoy those. Thanks for tuning in. Give it a go.